Apocryphal book. The book of 2nd Baruch. The prophet Baruch, also known as the Apocalypse of Baruch. Chapter 8. Now the angels did as he commanded them, and when they had broken up the corners of the wall, a voice was heard from the interior of the temple, and the wall had fallen, saying, Enter, ye enemies, and come, ye adversaries, for he who kept the house has forsaken it. And I, Baruch, departed. And it came to pass after these things that the army of the Chaldean entered and seized the house, and all that was around it, and they led the people away captive, slewing some of them, and bound Zedekiah the king, and sent him to the king of Babel. And I came, and Jeremiah, whose heart was found pure from sins, who had not been captured in the seizure of the city. And we rent our garments, we wept, and mourned, and fasted 7 days. Chapter 10. It came to pass after 7 days that the word of Elohim came to me and said, Tell Jeremiah to go and support the captivity of the people unto Babel, but do remain here amid the desolation of Zion. I will show to you after these days what will befall in the end of days. And I said to Jeremiah, as Yahweh commanded me, and he indeed departed with the people. But I, Baruch, returned and sat before the gates of the temple. I lamented in the following lamentation over Zion, and said, Blessed is he who was not born, who having been born has died. But as for us who live, woe unto us, because we see the afflictions of Zion, and what has befallen Jerusalem. I will call the sirens from the sea, and ye, Lilith, come ye from the desert, and ye, Shadim and dragons from the forests, awake, gird up your loins until morning, and take up with me the dirges, and make lamentation with me. Ye husbandmen, sow not again, O earth, wherefore give your harvest fruits. Keep within you the sweets of your sustenance, and you, vine, why further do you give your wine for an offering? Will not again be made, therefore, unto Zion, nor will the first fruits offered again. And do ye, O heavens, withhold your dew, and open not the treasures of rain. And do, O sun, withhold the light of your rays. And do, O moon, extinguish the multitude of your light. For why should light rise again, where the light of Zion is darkened? And you, ye bridegrooms, enter not in, and let not the bridegroom, let not the brides adorn themselves with garlands. And you women, pray not that you may bear, for the barren shall above all rejoice, and those who have no sons shall be glad, and those who have sons shall have anguish. For why should they bear in pain, only to bury in grief? Oh, why again should mankind have sons? Why should the seed of their kind again be named? Where this mother is desolate, and her sons are led into captivity. From this time forward, speak not of beauty, and discourse not of gracefulness. Moreover, ye priests, take ye the keys of the sanctuary, and cast them into the height of heaven, and give them to Yahweh, and say, Guard your house yourself, For lo, we are found false stewards, and you, ye virgins, who weave fine linen and silk with gold of Ophir. Take with haste all these things, and cast them into the fire, that it may hear them to him who made them. And the flame send to him who created them, lest the enemy get possession of them. Chapter 11. Moreover, I, Baruch, say this against you, Babel. If you had prospered, and Zion had dwelt in her glory, yet the grief to us had been great, that you should be equal to Zion. But now, lo, the grief is infinite, and the lamentation measureless, for lo, you are prospered, and Zion desolate. Who will be judged regarding these things? Or to whom shall we complain regarding that which has befallen us? O Yahweh, have you borne it? Our fathers went to rest without grief, and lo, the righteous sleep in the earth in tranquility, for they knew not this anguish, nor yet had they heard that which has befallen us. Would that you had ears, O earth, that you had a heart, O dust, that you might go and announce in Sheol, and say to the dead, Blessed are ye more than we who live. Chapter 12. I will say this as I think, and I will speak against you, O land, which are prospering. The noonday does not always burn, nor do the rays of the sun constantly give light. Do not expect and hope that you will always be prosperous and rejoicing, and be not greatly uplifted and boastful, for assuredly in its own season shall the divine wrath awake against you, which now in long suffering is held in, as it were, by rains. And when I had said these things, I fasted 7 days. Chapter 13. It came to pass after these things that I, Baruch, was standing upon Mount Zion, and lo, a voice came from the height and said to me, Stand upon your feet, Baruch, and hear the word of Elohim, because you have been astonished at what has befallen Zion. You shall therefore be assuredly preserved to the consummation of the times, that you may be he that is for a testimony, and that if ever those prosperous cities say, Why has Elohim brought upon us this retribution? Say unto them, You and those like you who shall have seen this evil, this is the evil and retribution which is coming upon you and upon your people in its destined times, that the nations may be thoroughly smitten, and then they shall be in anguish. And if they say that time, For how long? You will say to them, Ye who have drunk and strained the wine, drain ye also the dregs, the judgment of the lofty one. For he who has no respect of persons, on this account he had aforetime no mercy on his own sons, but afflicted them as his enemies, because they sinned. Therefore were they chastened, that they might be sanctified. But now, ye peoples and nations, ye are guilty, because you have always trodden down the earth, and used creation unrighteously. For I have always benefited you, and ye have always been ungrateful for the beneficence